An old chronicle once described that terrible morning, the bravest men of Croatia entered the field at sunrise. But by sunset, the earth drank their blood. This account comes from Johannes de Thurax in Chronica Hungarorum, 1493. Krbava Field, the battle that changed Balkan history forever. Cold fog covered Krbava Field as Croatian soldiers prepared for battle. Priests blessed the army while noble banners moved in the wind. Thousands believed this would be a glorious victory against the Ottoman Empire, but hidden behind the hills, Ottoman commander Hadim Yakup Pasha was already preparing a deadly trap. For years, the Ottomans had expanded across the Balkans. Bosnia had fallen. Serbia had weakened, and now Croatia stood directly in their path. Croatian leader Ban Emeric Derenčin trusted his heavily armored knights. Many commanders wanted an aggressive attack. They believed one powerful cavalry charge could destroy the Ottoman army, but the Ottomans had carefully studied the battlefield. Forests, valleys, and hills surrounded Krbava Field, perfect ground for an ambush. Some Croatian generals advised staying near defensive positions, but pride won the argument. As the sun rose higher, Ottoman light cavalry suddenly appeared and began retreating toward the valleys. To the Croatians, it looked like fear. The order was given, charge. Hundreds of armored knights stormed forward. The ground shook beneath their horses, then suddenly, Ottoman riders split apart. From the forests and hills, thousands of Ottoman cavalry appeared, arrows filled the sky, the Croatian charge stopped instantly. Horses collapsed. Soldiers screamed. Chaos spread across the battlefield. Krbava Field had become a death trap, and Croatia's greatest warriors realized too late, they were surrounded. As Ottoman war drums echoed through the valley, the massacre had only just begun. A Croatian priest later wrote, "No mother could recognize the bodies after Krbava." The horror of the battle was recorded in medieval Balkan chronicles, and what happened next became Croatia's darkest nightmare. The Croatian army tried desperately to regroup, but confusion spread everywhere. Ottoman horse archers attacked from every direction, disappearing into the hills before soldiers could strike back. The heavy Croatian cavalry was powerful in open combat, but here, speed defeated strength, arrows rained down constantly. Horses panicked. Commanders lost control. Noble banners disappeared beneath waves of Ottoman attacks. Then came the second phase of the trap. Ottoman cavalry moved around the Croatian flanks, cutting off every escape route. The battlefield became a prison surrounded by steel and arrows. Some knights fought bravely to the very end. Chronicles describe soldiers refusing to surrender even after being surrounded, but courage could not save them. Ban Emeric Derenčin watched his army collapse. Units became isolated. Every retreat led directly into another Ottoman attack. Blood covered the grass, broken shields filled the valley, the sound of steel echoed through Krbava Field. The Ottomans attacked with terrifying discipline. Wave after wave of cavalry crashed into trapped Croatian soldiers. Many nobles attempted one final counterattack to break through the encirclement. They failed. By afternoon, the Croatian army no longer existed as an organized force. What had begun as a confident march toward victory became total destruction. The Ottoman drums continued beating across the valley like the sound of death itself. As the sun slowly disappeared, Croatia realized it had not only lost a battle, it had lost an entire generation. One surviving priest reportedly wrote, "Every village waited for men who would never return." Krbava Field became more than a defeat, it became a scar in Croatian history. As night fell across the battlefield, the cries of wounded soldiers echoed through the valley. Thousands of Croatian warriors lay dead. Many powerful noble families were destroyed in a single day. The survivors fled carrying horrifying stories of the massacre. Soon, villages across Croatia learned that fathers, brothers, and sons would never come home. The defeat shocked Europe. For the Ottoman Empire, Krbava proved that strategy and speed could destroy even heavily armored armies. For Croatia, it was a catastrophe. The kingdom lost experienced commanders, noble bloodlines, and much of its military strength. Border regions became exposed to future Ottoman invasions. Fear spread throughout the Balkans. Church bells rang in mourning. Funeral prayers filled towns and villages, and the name Krbava became linked with death itself. Yet despite the disaster, the memory of those warriors never disappeared. Croatian chronicles later described the battle as a symbol of sacrifice against impossible odds. What made the defeat truly terrifying was how quickly everything collapsed. One moment the army marched proudly toward battle believing victory was certain. Hours later, their banners were gone. Their leaders were dead, and Krbava Field belonged entirely to the Ottomans. Even today, historians study the battle as one of medieval Europe's greatest ambushes, because sometimes, the deadliest traps are the ones created by pride before the battle even begins, and beneath those silent Croatian fields today, lie the forgotten warriors who marched toward glory, but instead marched into history's darkest battlefield.